So the fridge door won't close properly, or it sags like it went out partying and never came back. Yeah, it's probably the hinges. This is one of those fixes that seems intimidating and oddly final, but it's pretty straightforward. Most fridge doors are held in place by just 2 or 3 hinges. Really. That's all that's stopping your frozen pizza from falling out. These hinges are incredibly important, but surprisingly simple to replace with just a few tools and a tiny bit of confidence. First, you need to unplug the fridge. Yes, actually unplug it. People skip this, thinking I'm just messing with the door. But there's a good chance you'll need to take off the top hinge cover, which can hide wiring, especially with water or ice dispensers. Next step, take everything out of the fridge door. Drinks, condiments, that one hot sauce bottle that's been there since 2017. When you lift the door off the hinges, you don't want extra weight or rogue objects flying loose. Now you're looking at the upper hinge. Usually it's covered by a small plastic piece held with 1 or 2 screws. Pop that off, and underneath you'll find the main bolt holding the hinge to the fridge cabinet. Once that's loose, you can begin removing the hinge fully. Once the top hinge is off, the door is no longer secured in place. So this is where you want a second pair of hands or at least a pillow to rest it on if it drops. Seriously, fridge doors are heavier than your average bad decision. Slide the door vertically up and away from the bottom hinge. Lay it flat somewhere soft, like a blanket or beach towel, so that you don't scratch the finish or bust the edge. Pro tip: take a photo before disassembly. Your future self will thank you. Inspect that bottom hinge. It's probably held by a couple more bolts on the fridge frame. Sometimes these are a little more gunky with time and gunk buildup. You may need a good scrub or screwdriver persuasion to get them off. Once the bad hinge comes off, line up the new hinge exactly where the old one was. Match the screw holes and bolt it down hand tight at first, just in case it needs adjusting. Alignment matters, or your fridge door won't seal right. Getting the door back on can feel like reverse Jenga. Drop it into the bottom hinge peg first, then pivot it back into place. It may take a few wiggles to get it to sit correctly. This part feels harder than it should. That's normal. Now reinstall the top hinge bracket while holding the door upright and aligned. This is when a helper really earns their snacks. Once secure, test the door motion a few times. Is it level, smooth, closing properly? That's your sign you're golden. The whole job takes about 20 to 30 minutes if you prep right. Compared to a $150 handyman or a whole new fridge, that's a solid life win. And now every time you hear that satisfying thunk when the fridge seals, you can proudly say, you did that.